All right, welcome YouTubers. 2019 NFL picks. GreatDanePicks.com. Free picks for the year, just like normal. I usually start anywhere from usually week to 3 to 4. A team will come out on my martingale. So no picks this week, but I got a little anxious. Just I see everybody else making picks. So I just wanted to set it up this year and let you know that I'm alive and you can follow me in maybe a couple weeks if you're a martingale player. If you're multiple or fixed system, which I usually play the multiple or fixed, we're talking about teams having to lose 2 games in a row ATS, and you pick them on the third one. So I call those the 2-loss, and you'll be looking at this column. But right now I just have Dallas, Minnesota, and Oakland starting a martingale this coming week. This will be week 2 coming up, or game number 2. And I know all 3 of those teams covered last week, won the ATS. I think they won the games. I'm not quite sure. I got to remember on that one. But anyways, I still see value in they're undervalued, and that's where usually we want to pick those type of teams, at least against the line and what Vegas is putting out on their point spreads and everything else. So, yeah, if they lose a couple. Of course, if they lose this week, if you're playing the martingale scheme, they'll be eligible for the first loss next week. And 2 weeks from now, if they lose 2 weeks in a row, one of those teams, then they'll be one of my primary picks. So, again, I have those 3 systems, the multiple system, the fixed system, and the martingale. This year I bumped the martingale down. It's 512 and for a 1 loss, and 1239 is what you'll be betting on a 2-loss team. And as teams head to head each other, you just cancel it out if that's necessary. But that's kind of the way that worked. The reason why I did that, let's just take a quick look at last year's ROI chart, for example. And this has been trending. I think 2016 I bumped it up to 2x. Well, I'm bumping it back down to 1.5, because you can look at the black dots here, the black circle dots. That's the amount of your payroll as a percentage that you have to put out week to week. And you can see I hit almost 100% at the 2x, so that'll bring that back to 1.5 times if I'm betting less money. And again, this is a $20,000 bankroll. Scale up or down according to what bankroll you have. And on martingale, again, that was the black dots, and it ended, in week 11 it had a high of over 50% ROI, and it ended up at 18.62% if I look over here. My multiple scheme, that I'd put $1,000 or 5% of your bankroll. But I might bet a team multiple times if I see value on them. So I might bet 2,000 or 3,000 for that team, especially late in the year, week 16 and 17. I get a lot of picks out there. Last year I was stopped at week 11 because I had made 37%, almost 38% ROI on my money. So what's that, $6,000, $7,000, something like that, on a $20,000 bankroll. So 23 is what it ended at. So a little under $5,000. The fixed system is the blue dots, which ended up being a winner last year at the end of the year, and its high was 43%. So I'd happen to be, like I said, out at that. Much better than, well, I didn't do, I think Apple lost money, but they ended up making some of that back in the NBA season. So just FYI, that's what happened last year. Something like that's going to happen this year. You're going to put money out. Figure where we are. I want to go over to YouTube history people. I used to track all these people up through. I quit December 18th, so I missed the last 2 weeks of the year. It was weeks 16 and 17, or games 15 and 16 that the teams played, and so I don't want to go back and review everybody's videos. Most people are doing terrible. By week 11, I was 30 and 20, and I was out for the year. I think I ended up 37 and 29, so slightly worse than 30 and 20. That's a 60% rate. This dollar number is just a flat $2,000 bet, because I'm just trying to compare people, like wins and losses. So if I were betting $2,000, that's what I would have net profited. Of course, I would have needed double the bankroll type stuff. So it's $2,000 minus $2,000 if you lose, and if you win, there's a profit of 18. That's minus 110 odds. I know you don't get quite minus 110 odds in the real world at your casino or your sport book. Probably like minus 112 is what I usually see, 112, 113 on average, if you average all these games out, right? So, this is a little more optimistic, but at the same token, for whatever reason, against covers.com, this happened every year for me. I'll get a half a game or a full game overall. When I say half a game, I'll get a something that might have been a loss becomes a push. Or cover says it's a loss, but I get a push. Cover says it's a loss and I get a win. Now it can happen the other way too, but it has always happened that I'll be either half a game ahead or even a game and a half ahead. And of course that's if I'm betting $1,000, that's that can be quite a bit chunk of change, right? I mean, I can add significantly to the ROI. So in the real world, I usually do much better for whatever reason, despite the minus 112 average payout. People I'm watching are the first 4 people here, well, myself and the first 3. Because everybody else in gray and below just hasn't washed out over the years, and I'm going back quite a bit. I started, let's see, tracking this in 2013, and I was 41-18. I took that win-loss out of here. Of course, that significantly improves my ratings. But Teddy Bear and Logan, Shift Video, and Half Moon, they're not on the YouTube channels then, and I think I was on Have a Ball channel and not my Great Dane Picks channel. I'm not sure what year my Great Dane Picks started on just for betting purposes. And of course my 2014 was a loser. Maybe I'd like to get rid of that one too. But again, 2015 was a lot like 2013, very close. Instead of 41-18, it's 42-19. And I've had winning here. But in 2017, I dumped. I went 500-ish and lost a boatload of money. So going back, Teddy Bear, these guys have done well, and people below them. Again, Logan Schiff, it's the video portion, and he really did pretty well in 2015 and 2016. He did exceptional, and then he kind of crapped the bed last year. I'm sorry, the year before, and then last year he was way down on his picks. I think he moved or something like that. He missed a bunch of weeks, as did Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear missed a bunch of weeks last year too, so he wasn't reliable to get picks from, but both of them are making picks this year, so it seems like we're off to a good start there, at least for participation purposes. Half Moon always participates, and he does pretty well. Average, just slightly better than 52%. He's slightly positive picker. Everybody else down here, there's a lot of talk and a lot of analysis, and these two teams are going to match, and this is they're going to run, and they're going to do this and do that, and all this stuff, and you go on, and well, they end up being 50-50 pickers, right? I mean, it doesn't translate to winning, at least by the covers.com numbers. Now I know they make up their own line numbers, and New England plus 20, right? That's not happening, right? So it doesn't matter if it's minus 3 or plus 3 or whatever. They make up a number, and that always seems to throw off enough numbers to drag them down. There's some people who are in the 51. It's hard to get Sports Guy. He doesn't even kind of do. First of all, his videos are incredibly long, and tons of analysis. But for all that I can do, if I go against covers.com, he was 5-6. Of course, he doesn't have a lot of teasers, and his teasers, let's see, at least in I think it was 2017, I'd gone through and marked his teasers down, and he was 70-31 on his teasers, which is a 69%. Well, you need 72 just to break even. So I know you have to combine those two together, and it depends on how you combine them together and that type of stuff. But on average, you'd be winning your plus 6 gift, right? 6-point teaser. You have to be winning those at 72 plus. So 74% is better, right? He's making 69, so he's got to be losing a lot of money there too, despite what he says, right? Who knows? But I know. Just look at the numbers, right? Big Rye and Fat Guy, had a lot of hope for him after a 66-55 partial season on YouTube, but he went 90-96. Just way too many picks, right? The more you pick, the harder some of those games will be, or the closer the game. So losing a buttload of money, and Sports Guy, I already did. Presidor, I gave up a year ago. Gino and Geo had terrible years last year, at least through week 15. But they were 500 pickers sort of on average anyways. Football Girl gave up a long. Minnesota Beast was a new guy, but he made a lot of picks and didn't do well to me. Jared Champion, I have a video about that one several years ago. And again, Brock Page, it's hard to get his picks out, but he seemed to do Same thing as Samuel Gold. I mean, they're like a 33% picker. Now, I'm sure they're not long term that. The long term, you got to get closer to 50-50. But again, I'm looking for 52% plus. So this is my overall calculation through the years, what your net would be with that $2,000 fixed betting. The rate, of course, 52.38, right? 52.4 is break even, and how much you lose per game on betting. So far, I'm 0-0. I'm not going to pick till maybe week 4 at best. Teddy Bear was 0-1. He seems to be doing some over and unders. Just did one ATS pick. Logan Schiff 3-2, and of course Halfmoon 4-0. A good year already. 1 week he gets a good year, so he seems to do that. He seems to go out of the gates and then trail. But again, I've got him at 174 and 157. Would have netted $2,000 over all these years, $52.7 a game. So, anyways, that's about it. Look forward to getting some followers, or just pay attention in week 3, week 4. I guess I'll have to do a week 3 video if one of those 3 martingales fail. That'll be pretty quick. But look for week 4, or maybe I'll just go through people to watch. Like, I'm probably going to go this type of format this year, and rearrange these a little bit. I know they're in alphabetical order right now. Rearrange and talk to them week to week, and maybe I'll even give analysis and breakdowns of how I do stuff. But anyways, that's a good start. Hopefully you're making some money. If not, keep some money set aside for me, and you'll make some money with me. Hopefully, right? All right. Have a good one, guys. See ya.